Hello, everybody. Let me try to find the live video on my Facebook page. Here it is. Hello. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Suzanne. Welcome, everybody. Y'all say hello. Tell everybody where you're from. And I am going to do a little housekeeping here real quick, like I always do. Bear with me. Oh, crap. I have done a little bit of calendar work to try to figure out a production schedule like I told you guys I would. And the conclusion that I've come up with is that we are behind. No surprise there. All right, let me turn this volume down. Can y'all hear me okay? Because there wasn't any volume coming across on my end. Y'all let me know if you can't. Yep, okay, good. All right, so, hi, Mom. Y'all, that's my mom, Dink. Y'all say hello to Dink. She goes by Dink or Dinky. I saw a message coming across, Mom, as I was hopping on here and I couldn't answer it, so. All right, good deal. So we'll go ahead and get started. So, you know, I told you guys that I would work on a production schedule, and I'm going to be finishing that off and getting it out to you as soon as I can. What I'll need is I will need your email addresses, and I'm setting up an email service account, and I will email everybody through that. There are two things that we should be working on now to be as sellers. There's two things we should be working on now, and one is Valentine's Day, and two is Mardi Gras. So Mardi Gras for 2021 starts Tuesday, February 16th. And Valentine's, of course, is February 14th. So we should already be making Valentine's and Mardi Gras. The end of October, 1st of November is when we should be starting that. And then the reason I say we should be starting that is because 12 weeks before those events, we should be taking pictures of our stuff and put it on Pinterest. And then it takes 3 months for your stuff being on Pinterest before the algorithm gets smart and finds your stuff and then starts distributing it out. So we're behind. But anyway, tonight we're going to keep making Christmas because I don't have any Valentine's stuff. But what I will do is purchase some Valentine's stuff. And I got some Valentine's stuff at the end of the year last year on sale from Hobby Lobby. So I'll pull that down and see what I've got. And then I will purchase some more stuff. And we'll start working on Valentine's and Mardi Gras. I don't have any Mardi Gras. I've never made any Mardi Gras stuff, but if any of you guys have, I'd love to see it. But there are some really cute Mardi Gras masks out there that would make fantastic wreaths. So I think that's the direction that I'm going to go to. So the sign that we have tonight is called "The True Gift of Christmas is not in the presents, but in His presence." And it is a red and black buffalo check. It's got a little white dove here, and then it's just black, white, and red, and I love it. So the only thing that I haven't decided is, so these are the ribbons that I've decided on so far. I've got this really, really nice snowflake white with black trim on the edges and a black and white check along the center. That's my one of my 2.5 inches. My second 2.5 inch is this black and red buffalo plaid. I'm going to pair that with this glitzy, glittery 1.5 inch black, solid black. And so my decision that I don't know what to do about, and I thought I would let you guys tell me what to do. Either one of these will work just fine. But I've got this adorable solid white fringe edged 1.5 ribbon, and then I've got this black and white buffalo check. So y'all tell me real quick, which one of these do you think we should use as the second 1.5 inch? So this is what we have, and this is the decision that I need to make. Do I use this one or do I use this one? Either one will be good. The white one Suzanne votes for. Either one will be fine. The white one is the one, the black and white check, Elaine says. So my only hesitation, so I originally chose the solid white one, but my only hesitation is that both of these were solids. Now I realize both of these have, you know, patterns to them, but I really did not want both of these to be solid. I wanted one of these to be patterned. So that's where the doubt came from in my mind. Do I do the solid white, and then I've also got a solid black, or do I do the black and white buffalo check? So y'all comment on that, and in the meantime, we'll go ahead and get started with the base. So I have been communicating with a young lady named Adele. She is from the UK. She was going to try to be on here tonight. I don't know if she's quite made it yet. Adele, if you're on here, tell me hello. Tell everybody hello. And we'll go ahead and get started with this base. So I'm going to be using just a solid white 21-inch mesh. It's uneven, so let me cut this edge real quick because it's used. Hi, Adele. There she is. You guys say hello to Adele. She's from the UK, right, Adele? The UK? She's from across the pond. And forgive me if I break out into some terrible accent, because I love, love, love accents. And I try. Oh, I'm so dumb sometimes, but I try to talk like foreign people to myself. I think it's fun. I love accents. I had a former sister-in-law one time who was from Honduras, and I used to always try to talk with a Spanish accent to her, and she thought I was making fun of her, and I had to tell her, no, I'm not making fun of you. I love accents. I always have, and I always will. All right, so 21-inch mesh. Just straighten it out, cut a straight edge, ruffle it together, put it on a zip tie, or excuse me, put it on one of your ties, and then zip tie it in place. Staffordshire, right in the middle. I have a cousin. Mom, where is Shelley living? Do you know? I have a cousin who's lived in England for many, many years. She and her husband moved from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, moved with the airline. So she's lived there most of her adult life. Staffordshire sounds real familiar for some reason. All right, so we're going to do 10-inch poofs. So I had a question from a young lady that she's the daughter of a friend of mine, and she's been messaging me a few questions here and there. She doesn't want to bother me, but it's no bother. You guys message me anytime. But one of her questions was, how do you know, y'all, my dog is acting up again. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Okay. My silly dog. Now he'll go in my bedroom and he'll shut the door and lock himself in there. He loves to do that. But anyway, so this young lady wanted to know, how do I know which mesh method to use? And the truth is, if you are making the truth is, as I know it, if you are making Deco mesh wreaths, it doesn't matter which method you choose. As long as you get good coverage of your wire wreath base, then it doesn't matter. And the honest truth is, when I first started out, every one of my wreaths were made with 21-inch mesh, 10-inch poof method, and I did 10-inch decorative mesh that I would cut at about 12-inch strips, and I would just do a ruffle, and I would put a ruffle in each tie, and I would do 2 or 3 different colors for my decorative mesh. And then I would take simple rolls, and I would put the rolls in every other tie. And I did that on every single wreath that I made. And then I started watching more and more YouTube, and finally got brave and tried other methods. But this is a tried and true method. I like it. Now I decide based upon what I have. I like the 10-inch mesh. I like the woodland ruffles. But to do woodland ruffles, to do all woodland ruffles, you have to have 2 rolls of 10-inch mesh. And I have purchased so much product that I've made a bet, or not a bet, but I made a deal with myself that I'm gonna try not to buy any more product. I'm gonna try to use what I have. So the decision for what I am doing is based upon what I have on hand. But I think starting out, this method is a really good method to learn on. The bubble method, I don't think I know the bubble method. What's the bubble method? I'll have to look that up, Elaine. It sounds familiar. I'd love to see it. Of course, everything, can be called a bunch of different things, too. So I very well could know what you were talking about, but I just might not know it by that name. All right, so I've gone around the bottom. Now I'm going to jump up to the top row. And I'm going to run out of mesh here, and I have another roll up here that I'll have to start using. So I'm going to go to the nearest tie and zip tie it on. I've learned everything I know from YouTube, Elaine. Everything. I've done so many YouTube searches. That's why I'm going to do the Rookie Wreath Maker blog, and I'm going to create a bunch of digital products to sell on Etsy, just to teach people what I have learned without them having to do as many YouTube searches as I've had to do. But you can learn anything on YouTube. So I also found, the people that I liked watching, I found them on YouTube. And then I started following them. And started, watching how they do things and learn from them. So once I started following a few people, I didn't have to search as much, because I pretty much learned a lot from the select few that I followed. So I chose white. I think I got that backwards. I chose white because I'm going to have so much red and black. And I wanted there to be... It is tough to start in this business, especially if you know absolutely nothing. So, y'all know my story, but I'll go ahead and tell it again just in case anybody doesn't know it. When I started having grandbabies, I've always been kind of artistic. My mother is artistic, so it kind of fairly easily to me. I don't draw very well, but I do like to be able to create pretty things, and I like making it. When grandbabies came along, I wanted to be called something cute. So we came up with Lolly and Pops, and so I started searching Pinterest for everything I could to learn how to make wreaths and to decorate for the holidays, because I wanted my grandbabies to come over and to be so in awe of my home and all the decorations and the toys and the presents and the Santa Claus and the decorated tree and the decorated front porch. And I just wanted them to have an experience that they would remember forever. And so that's kind of how I got started. And so through all of those Pinterest searches and then YouTube searches and then starting to make a few things on my own, I was bitten by the bug. And so I started from ground zero. I knew absolutely nothing. Nothing. But I made up for it. Now I've discovered that I like teaching it. I like making it. The one thing I don't really care too much about is shipping it. I love selling it, of course. That helps fund me buying more stuff to make more stuff. But I don't like shipping it. I don't know why. I just don't like it. But I'm surprised. So I'm not, I am challenged when it comes to social media, the internet, the computer, knowing how to actually navigate a computer and the internet to get done what I want to get done. I'm challenged with that, but I'm learning. I've learned a ton of stuff in this last year. So I never would have thought in a million years that I would enjoy that part of it, but I'm actually finding that I do. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. I'm discovering that I love Pinterest. I'm enjoying learning about Pinterest and about what it takes to use Pinterest for the benefit of driving traffic to my store. And I never would have in a million years thought that I would like that part of it. All right, let's see. What did we decide on the ribbon? So we got 2 whites, white, white, black and white check, the white one, 3 whites. All right, we'll go with the white. So I'm going to show you, I haven't cut it, I'm going to show you that you don't need any gadgets. You don't need to spend your money on any gadgets if you can't afford it. There are gadgets out there to wrap your ribbon around, and it makes it quick and easy to measure. But if you don't have that and you can't afford it, you don't need it. So here's how I do it. I just measure. These ribbon are 12 inches. So all you have to do is on your cutting board, it has measurements. So just find the 12 inches, and mine is right here. I just take it and fold it right there. And I need 8 of them. So I'm just going to roll this end over end 8 times. So there's 2. There's 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Now, would that be faster if I'd had the little gadget? Yeah, I'm sure it would be faster. Now, I always double count. Some ribbon is really expensive. You don't want to cut an extra 12 inches off if you don't have to. And there have been many times when I've done that. So now I count it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. So now you just take your scissors, find the center point, put your scissors up through it, and pull it tight against your scissors, and then just cut it. It's going to be jaggedy and uneven, but that's okay because you're going to dovetail it, or you're going to fold it under if it's flimsy ribbon, or you're going to cut it at an angle. One thing I've learned is that you should use a watermark on your pictures. This will prevent people from taking your pictures and calling them their own. Yes, absolutely. And that has happened quite a bit here lately. So I don't know if y'all are aware of this, but there is a scam going on where they take pictures of people's wreaths and they sell them for $29.99. And when the person who purchases said wreath gets it in the mail, it's a pillow with a picture of the wreath on it. Have y'all heard about that? And then there was another scam. Well, I don't know if it was a scam so much, but there was another seller of wreaths on Etsy who used other people's photos. So yes, you should put a watermark on your items. I don't do that yet, but I need to. There is an app. I don't know the name of the app. Suzanne, do you know the name of the app? There is an app that you can download, and it will put the watermark on there that you design. Or I think if you use Canva, you could probably put your watermark on Canva, but it's probably easier to use the app. For right now, I don't use any of them. I'm struggling to stay ahead, to get ahead, to keep up with my social media posts. I'm starting to do these lives. You know, it took me almost a year to start doing these lives. I just didn't want to do them. I didn't want to bother anybody, is what I was thinking. My phone can do it too? Seriously? My iPhone? I'll have to check into that. Because I do everything with my iPhone. Everything except for live YouTube videos, which I want to do those as well. But you have to have some sort of camcorder device. YouTube does not allow you to use your phone. I think it's because they consider themselves a more professional video social media site. Unlike TikTok or Instagram or something like that, where people will just quickly shoot a video. They want to avoid that, I guess. All right, so there's that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach the 10-inch ribbon. Just add a text across the picture. Okay. I've got 10 different pictures. I wonder how long that would take. Probably be worth it. Well, they're not going to be stealing my side view pictures or the back of my wreath pictures, so as long as I do the main one, I guess. All right, so I've got two different styles of 10-inch mesh, and I've cut these to 12 inches, I believe. Yep. So I've got this red striped foil, and then I've got this one I keep going back to over and over again, y'all. This black and white buffalo plaid mesh that I got from Hobby Lobby in their fall section. Keep going back to it. Love it, love it, love it. And that's, I've just caused a big old, let me get rid of that. So, I think I'll just do, just a standard ruffle. So on a standard ruffle, I have it going curved side down, and the reason I do curved side down is because when I start to ruffle it, if it's curved side down, that edge will tend to roll under easier. I can just start with it folded under, and then just start walking your fingers to the other end. And as you walk your fingers to the other end, it sometimes will stay folded under. Now that one didn't, but that's okay. And it doesn't have to stay rolled under. Rolled under would be good to keep those frayed edges out of the way. And I'm just going to alternate these. I just fold that under on that side. Oy. Y'all, I don't have enough room in this room. Do I say that every time? I've got stuff falling off on the floor right now. Good God. Yeah, did y'all hear that? That was all my stuff falling off on the floor. Ah. So just start on one edge and use your fingers and start walking it to the other edge and just ruffle it together. And I flip that edge under, and then I start walking. And then before this other edge flips itself out, I grab it and leave it flipped under if I can. If it flips itself out before I grab it, then I don't mess with it. I just go on. I don't try to fold it back under. Alright, so flip that under, walk it in. So Adele, have you made anything yet? I think you said earlier in our communication that you hadn't, that you were getting the stuff. Y'all, Adele said that they don't have much in the UK. It's kind of just now taking off. Suzanne, she's kind of in your boat. Do you have stuff in Canada, Suzanne, like we have here? So Adele, Suzanne is from Canada. We've talked a little bit about, so you haven't made this style. What do you do? Grapevines? Evergreens? Yeah. So I was telling Adele that it's a great opportunity to corner the market. If you don't have that kind of stuff in your area, if you could somehow be that person, you could be the next Damon Oates. Or if the market is just catching on, the next Julie Samako. So that was one of the things that I was worried about when I first got into this was, you know, how saturated is this market? Should I even do it? So you're limited in Canada too. You're a florist, so you work with fresh food. Oh, Adele, you are ahead of the game then. Because you know about design and placement. So do you do grapevines too, though? The light blue spring truck is available at Creative Designs by Stephanie. Couldn't remember what color you were looking for. That's, oh, okay, awesome. So I was looking for yellow and pink, but I also wanted blue. And the blue that I was finding was more of a kind of a cross between a royal and a navy. So you don't know what grapevine is, Adele? Or evergreen? Is that what you're saying? Adele, you would probably be fantastic at grapevine. If you're a florist and you already know about placement, floral placement, basically that's what grapevine is all about. To me, that's what grapevine is all about. And that's what I struggle with. I've done some really pretty grapevine, but I don't knock them out in 45 minutes when I do them. I knock them out in more like 4 or 5 hours. So the grapevine is a new one. So grapevine is just what it says. It's grapevines that they take and they roll in a big loop, like a hula hoop, tie them all together, And then you add your floral touches, your signs, your accent pieces, whatever you want. So on the front page of my Etsy shop is a picture. The main picture on my Etsy shop is a grapevine, and it's a red truck with fall florals. So there's usually not Deco mesh on grapevines, but you can put Deco mesh on grapevines. Some people put Deco mesh on grapevines all the time. I currently prefer grapevines with the florals, the dried artificials, and then the accent pieces like the metal trucks and stuff like that. But I want to do some summer or Easter metal trucks. I don't, you know, they say the truck is going away, but that's the first video you saw me in. Was it the truck grapevine? Awesome. But I saw some pictures on Pinterest of the trucks, and I wasn't looking for what I found, but I found some incredible truck designs with pastel florals and a pink truck and a yellow truck. And it was just adorable. So I want to copy that. I'm a copier, y'all. I get inspiration from what other people do, and I use their ideas as my recipe, and then I go and create my own thing with their recipe, basically. All right, so there is our wreath. That's stinking cute, y'all. All right, so let's get started with the ribbon. All right, let's see, how am I going to pair this? So I can either do the white with the white and the black with the red, or I can do the black with the white and the white with the red. And I think I like that better. Yeah, I could spray paint it. But I think somebody sent me a link the other day. Was that you, Cheryl? Somebody did. I've got to start writing this stuff down because I go and look, and hopefully it's still on my phone because I was looking at it at work. This doesn't look like 12. I mean 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, it's 8. I found the yellow one, and I may have found the pink one, but I didn't find the baby blue. I wanted the soft baby blue. All right, so I'm going to put the two. These are cut 12 inches in length and dovetailed. Start with your 2.5 inch on the bottom and your 1.5 inch on top, and you're going to locate the center point. Just eyeball it. You can measure it if you want to. I don't measure it. I just eyeball it. And scrunch it together, walk it together with your fingers, like that. And then I do a V shape, fold it into a V. And then what I do is I fluff out, they're pretty straight across, and I put my fingers on the underside and create it a little bit of a bird's wing. Now just choose any place you want to start, and I think I'll start on the red. I start with all of my ribbon tails coming out toward the outside. And then later, after I've gotten all of my embellishments on it, so I start with all of my ribbons coming out toward the outside. And then after I've gotten all of my embellishments on the wreath later, if I need to change the direction of these to cover a hole, then I'll do that. So you can do an X. You can take your ribbon and you can do it in an X formation, like that. And let's say I had a hole right here. I could pull that ribbon up there. but I always just leave that for later. So for now, I start with them all coming out in a V formation, like that. Okay, so we'll carry on. Oh, yes, Suzanne, you did send me that link. And I think there's a $500 minimum. I did go and look, and I loved what they had. They even had some of the Volkswagens. Did you see those? Has anybody seen the little Volkswagen bug cars? I don't know why I like those so much, but I do. Those and the trucks. But I don't know if it's just me that likes them or if other people like them too. So whenever I get them, I probably should just get one or two, not a bunch. So one of the mistakes that I have made in my Etsy shop, I know that the Etsy algorithm likes multiples. So if you can make 10 of something, then it's going to push you higher up in the ranking, and Etsy is going to show your stuff to more people than if you were to just make one. So I never really got to the, I only have one listing where I have 10. And I don't even think I have 10, I think I have 8. But one of the mistakes that I made was when I started buying, I would buy for 3 or 4 of each one. And what I've learned is instead you should buy, you should kind of be a little bit reserved. If you know something is going to be a big seller, then yes, absolutely buy 10 of those. Buy enough to make 10. But if you don't know, like I don't know yet, you know, what everybody's going to want because I'm new to the business, I probably shouldn't buy product for 10 and then keep it stored on my shelves, taking up all the room in my garage and my pantry. I probably should just buy, you know, enough for 2 maybe. So if I buy some of the little Volkswagen, I'm probably only going to buy 2, maybe even just 1. So when you have multiple listings in your Etsy shop, so I've got, let's just say I do have 10 of this one wreath. And I list it in my Etsy shop as 10. So you know the name of the game is to get your Etsy shop listings up to 200. Eventually I will get to 200. So when I list 10 of one item on Etsy, it doesn't give me credit for 10 items. It only gives me credit for 1. It gives me a little extra credit for having multiples, but it doesn't add those to my total of wreaths in my shop or the total of products in my shop. So it shows that I have 70 something products in my shop, but in actuality I have 80 something. So I get the credit for having the multiples, but I don't get the credit for having the numbers. So I'm not quite sure which will rank me higher. Whichever one will rank me higher is the one I need to focus on. But this week I'm going to be, well, probably, I have to work tomorrow and Friday, so probably Saturday I will order some Valentine's stuff in and start working on Valentine's as soon as it comes in. So what's the date I said? So for Valentine's, I should be posting Valentine's next week on Pinterest. If you have to buy 12, I'll buy 4 of them. I will pay you and the postage. Something to think about, sharing the product when you purchase. So, Suzanne, do you want me to put together an entire wreath for you, or do you just want the little car? I have no idea what it will cost to ship to Canada. I just had an order to Puerto Rico, and I had to not fulfill that order because it was going to cost, I would have shipped it for what it was going to cost, but it was not going to make it in time. Yeah, send me an email, Suzanne. We'll talk about it. And in the meantime, I will do a little bit of investigation. In your email, send me your address so I can look at shipping and see what it'll cost me to ship that to you. And before we ever even decide on anything, we'll know what we're up against. You know, eventually I do want to sell product too, but I would like to eventually get in subscription boxes. And so what a subscription box would entail is me designing a wreath and then selling it. I am a member of a subscription box on Deco Exchange, and they ship products, but they don't ship, you know, an entire wreath. And then I know Julie Samaco puts together some stuff through Greenery Market, and you can buy an entire kit through there that she designs. But I'd like to do that myself too. I just am not really there yet in my career, but I'll get there. It's on my list. I've got a list as long as my arm of things that I am going to be doing with this career. It's exciting. It's a lot of work. All right, we're going to jump up to the top row because we have completed the bottom row. All right, so I think, yeah, I'll start right here. I don't know what's going on with my, are y'all still there? Oh, shoot. All right, y'all, my computer's acting up. Ooh. Okay, let's try that. All right, I'm back. Y'all, my computer just totally went crazy. You did, Suzanne? That's awesome. Y'all, my computer completely shut down, and I had to log out and log back in. Did y'all even notice? It was going crazy. Your first sale. That's awesome. No pressure or anything, but special requests are hard. You're floored. Oh, you'll do great. Find out just everything you possibly can about your customer and then serve the pants off of them. And my suggestion too would be is to take half of your money, if not all of it, up front. Unless it's a, you know, unless it's a really good friend. People don't mean to, but things happen in life, and suddenly they can't fulfill their obligations. And so to avoid getting stuck with what it costs you to make that, then go ahead and take some money for it. Even if it's just half, they'll be more likely to go ahead and, if they're out $80, you know, they'll be more likely to go ahead and come up with the next 80 or 50 or whatever it is. All right, we're getting there. I think we just have 3 more, y'all. Then we'll start on the sign and the ribbon. I like how the white base mesh is lightening it up and creating more dimension for the eye to look around the wreath. If I had done black or red, I think it would have been really blending together quite a bit. Do any of you guys ever go to any of the wreath retreats or the gatherings that are starting to become, I don't know, maybe they have been popular for a long time, but I'm just now starting to learn about them. I want to go. There's a wreath retreat, I think it's called, in Dallas, and it's Julie Samaco and Damon Oates. Unfortunately, I don't think I can go unless I switch my days off with somebody. Switch some vacation time. It's hard to get vacation time where I come from. We sign up for vacation a year and a half in advance. And then if there aren't any more days available when something comes up, then you have to start switching. And it's in the summertime, so a lot of people have stuff planned already. All right, so there's that. Now, so we've got the sign. Now, I don't know where I'm going to put it, so we'll just go ahead and move on, carry on with the bow. So I'm going to use the bow dabra again. This is what I start with. So you haven't, but we would love to. Yeah, me too, Terry. Me too. Alright, so I think I'm going to, I like the snowflake better than I like the red and black. But the snowflake is thicker. And it would hold this more flimsy mesh up better. So I think I'm going to have to start with the snowflake first. So I'm going to go ahead and dovetail this. So sometimes when I have discovered that when you use a thinner ribbon, like this is a Hobby Lobby ribbon, and it's not bad. If it was thick, it would be a lot better, but it's pretty thin. And so it kind of gets squished down underneath all of the other ribbon in a bow. So I try to put the thicker, more hardier ribbon on the very back. But usually the one on the back is not seen as well. And so you want your prettier ribbon toward the front, but that's not going to work in this case. So my prettier ribbon, because it's hardier, I'm going to put toward the back. So I'm going to do 12-inch tails. It's single-sided ribbon, so I'm going to have to twist it. I'm going to do, let's say, 5-inch loops. So I've got this bow dabber on the 10-inch mark, and so I'm going to put my finger out here on the 15. That wants to twist. There we go. Twist it. Now I'm going to put my finger out here on the 5. Twist. Now I'm just going to measure and make it even with the one underneath. So now I will even this out with, I'm going to make this one just a little bit longer than that other side. I like my tails to be varying lengths. I don't like for them to all be exactly the same. So now we'll do our next ribbon, which this is the black and red buffalo check. So do y'all have your Christmas trees up yet? Your Christmas decorating started, done? So I'm going to do 4 of these ribbons as well, and I'm going to make them 5 inches too. So if I have less ribbon, or if I'm worried about not having enough ribbon, and I want to do this style of a bow, I will do 5-inch loops instead of 6-inch loops. I wasn't sure that I was going to have enough of that snowflake, that black and white snowflake, but I did. Also, if you have really silky, flimsy ribbon, the longer the loop, the more floppy it's going to be. So you might want, if you have silky, flimsy ribbon, you might want to choose a shorter loop for your bow. Yeah, we think that, you know, there's a lot of that speculation of closing things down here in Arkansas as well from the governor. Just because the numbers are rising. So, you know, scary times. I think, so this ribbon is pretty thin. No, we didn't use that ribbon. Oops, sorry. I was about to use the wrong one. So when we had our basic shutdown in March, we sold out of toilet paper everywhere. And so now, so this is essentially single-sided ribbon, but it almost looks double-sided. So I'm going to go ahead and treat it like single-sided and twist it. It's a little bit fuzzier on the top side than it is the back. I'm going to do 4 loops. I'm going to make these smaller, just a tad bit smaller. But we had a run on toilet paper and all kinds of bleach products. I can tell that they're already starting to buy that stuff in the stores. So I think we're all worried about another shutdown here as well. If the numbers keep climbing, you know, I don't know. You know, we're in a catch-22. We need to open up, but yet we need to stay safe. We need to take care of our people. I don't know what the answer is. No canned potatoes. Is that one of the things that you get a run on in Canada, is canned potatoes? Oh man, yeah. So I went to Sam's, which is, we don't have Costco here yet in Arkansas, or in central Arkansas. I think they have it in northwest Arkansas. And every time I go to the store, I'll buy a big pack of toilet paper. My husband says, why are you buying toilet paper again? And I, you know, the last time this happened and we were caught without toilet paper, I said, you know, next time I want a food supply or a 1-year food supply or whatever, don't say anything. So now when he says, why are you buying toilet paper? I say, well, remember I said, don't say anything because I'm taking care of our family. So we didn't have toilet paper, but luckily our store had baby wipes. So we used baby wipes for, golly, a solid week. And then it got to where we were, you know, every time we go to the store, we would get lucky and there would be 1 4-pack, and that was it. I'm tired of 2020. So tired of 2020. All right, so I'm going to lift this up off of the Bodabra just high enough that I can slide this zip tie in. I'm going to push that bow back down. Now I'm going to pull the head of that zip tie up to the top, and then I'm going to start pulling this other side up, and it's going to elevate that bow, but I'm going to leave my finger on it, and so I'm going to smush it down while I'm elevating this zip tie. And now I'm going to slide it in there. Start to zip it down. So before I take this out, what I'm going to do is make sure that these ties are even. So I'm going to slip my fingers inside these loops and just make them even. Okay, tighten it a little bit more and pull that out. So now I'm going to squish these loops together, and I'm going to pull these tails down. Now I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Hold these loops and pull these tails down. Okay, so now I'm going to, as I'm holding this down, I'm going to slide this zip tie to the back, turn it around, and I'm going to slide a tie underneath here before I tighten it down all the way. Now I'm going to tighten it down. Alright, so there's the starting of our bow. So now I'm going to slide my hands inside these loops and just start pulling them apart and giving them a little twist. Pull one up and one down and give it a little twist. And what you're doing is you're freeing it from that center part where it's all gathered together. And as you're twisting it, you're making it like an individual loop. Even though it's not, it's still tied to those others. You're kind of freeing it up some and giving it its own shape. Okay? So now I'll just go to the next. So my bows are, they're not really free-form bows. They're kind of stacked. So my my next loops are stacked almost on top of the ones below it. A free-form bow, to me, you've just got loops going every direction, and that's pretty too. Okay, so now we got the white ones. Okay. It's kind of getting away from me here. Let me straighten it back out. So I like these stack bows. I like for you to kind of see the bottom, then the next row, then the bottom row, then the next row, the bottom row, the next row. Just kind of alternate them. They don't always stay that way by the time you get them on, but that's the way I like to start out anyway. And there's the bow. Alright, so let's figure out where we want to put it on this wreath. Alright, so we've got the bow and the sign. So I will probably offset it like that. That tends to be my recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bow in here. So I'm going to thread these white pipe cleaners down through here and see if I can straddle the frame. I think I'll come over a little bit. So see if I can get some pipe cleaner on each side of the metal frame and then twist it in place. So I'm going to try not to pull it too tight against the frame. If you pull it too tight against the frame, your bow will fold in on itself like that. And I don't like that. I like my bow to be sitting on top of my wreath. So I don't pull it so tight. And so I will put this right here. I think I might put that more toward the center and cover up that hole. I kind of like that. So I'm going to take a beadsmith tool. This is a metal hole punch basically. So I think I will put something in the four corners. I could just put it in the top and the bottom, but it is pretty far away from, so I think it's pretty far away from the frame down here on the bottom because I want it up toward the top a little bit. So I'm going to put my holes in the four corners. You can get this beadsmith tool at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. You probably can order it off of Amazon. And basically it's just a, it's called a beadsmith tool, and it's just a metal hole punch. So I'm going to use my silver wire. I don't have black. I don't even know if it comes in black. This is 22 gauge wire. So my bows kind of jiggle too, but you got to find that happy medium where they don't really jiggle too much, but yet they're not squished too far down into your wreath. So one of the tricks that I've seen somebody do before is they put their bow on and they keep it loose, but sometimes when it's loose it wants to sag. And so what I've seen them do is to take a piece of wire and come up underneath. They go up underneath the loops, something like this, not exactly like this, and they lasso this bow with a piece of wire, and then they pull it up, and then they attach it to the wreath. So it's actually attached twice. It is a great tool. And you never know where you're going to want your holes. So a lot of times the sellers on Etsy of signs will give you the option of where do you want your holes, at the top or the bottom, at the sides, the four corners, or no holes at all. And so I always do no holes because I never know where I'm going to want them. So let's thread this through here. I try to choose something that's going to match, that you can't see. I don't have any black pipe cleaners. Black is what I would need, so I'm just going to use this. So I'm just going to do two in case I want to come back, you guys, with black pipe cleaners instead of this silver wire. So I'm just going to use two of these wires just to secure it so we'll know what it's going to look like. So I'm going to want it about right there. So I'm going to take this first wire, go down through here. One of the things that I'm going to try to stop doing is flipping over my wreath and squishing my bow. You know, sometimes when you start to get a lot of creases in your bows, you just can't get them out. So I'm going to try to quit flipping them over and smushing them. Or I'll just wait to put them on until I get this secure. That would work too. Alright, this next one is going to go right here, just on the other side of this tie. Alright, y'all, pardon me while I flip this over a little. There we go. That's cute. Well, you can't even hardly see the silver, but I can see it. I'm not really liking it, so I will come back with some black chenille stems or pipe cleaners and fix that. There it is. That's really cute though, y'all. So cute. So now let me show you some of the embellishments that I have. Let me put these wires aside. Flip this around so y'all can see. So, this is not really country. This is more glamorous with the foil and then with just the message. The buffalo check, of course, is country. So I've got a little bit of a blend of a glam country, which is my favorite thing in the world. I told y'all the last video I'd love to redo my house, and it's going to be like a farmhouse glam. I love a farmhouse glam look. And to me, that's what this is a farmhouse glam. You've got the farmhouse in the buffalo check, the country in the buffalo check, but you got the glam. This design is kind of glamorous. The shape, the dove, and then the saying to me is glamorous. And so I've got the glamour of the 1.5 inch sparkly mesh ribbon, the foil mesh, even this snowflake ribbon. It's a little bit glamorous and country both together. And then this white with the fringed edge. To me, a fringe edge is glamorous. That's like fur. That's like throwing on, you know, a fake fur coat. And that's kind of what it represents to me. So what I have are some country accents. I'm not quite sure what I will use, but I've got these at Hobby Lobby. So I've got the black and white buffalo check. It's got some pine cones, and it's got a bell. And I love the bell. You put this on your door, and every time your door opens and closes, your little bell sounds. So I really kind of like that. I'm not sure if I'll use the red or the white. So I'm just going to put them both in here for now. And let's just see what they look like. I can get it in there. Can't get that in there. There we go. And then I've got this little owl here. He's got a buffalo check on him. Got him from Hobby Lobby. I've got these little boots. I still haven't used these boots. I've had them all winter, all season, and I haven't used them yet. They're kind of country. I'm not liking that red too much, but I do like the black and white. Let's put all of these in here first and see what they look like. Let's see. So remember, everything should be kind of in threes or in odd numbers. 3s, 5s, 7s. I don't know why. It's a design aesthetic. Adele, you probably know why. if you're still on here, you probably could tell us why 3s, 5s, odd numbers look better than even numbers. I think if you're going for a perfectly symmetrical look, then an even number would be fine, as long as you had it symmetrically placed. All right, well, you get the idea. So as usual, I will play with this for a while, get it just right. All right, you guys, that's it. You guys, thank you for joining me. I'll work on this some more, but that's essentially it. I'll see if I can find some more decorative pieces to go on there. I think I like the black and white buffalo check better than the red. But yeah, I think it looks great. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you don't mind, share this video with all of your friends. And go to my YouTube channel and join. Starting to get a pretty good following on YouTube, y'all. I'm so happy. I looked at it the other day and got a message from YouTube saying, hey, you got 100 followers. And then I looked at it today and there were 152. I was like, wow, that's awesome. I know that's small change to a lot of these big people, but to me that's pretty great. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me, and hopefully maybe not the next time, but the time after that we'll be doing some Valentine's stuff. Okay? Thank you so much, guys. See y'all in the next video. Thank you, Adele, for joining from across the pond. Thank you, Suzanne, for joining from Canada. Everybody, you guys be safe out there. Talk to y'all later.